Yeah. So, Sharifa and Sharon, are you all present? Because we don't have your videos as well. Merrick.
Hi.
Hi.
How come you're Sharifa, not Riza?
Your name is not Marivic.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
sorry.
thinking, who is Sharifa, not Riza? Yeah,
I'm gonna change it in a bit.
yeah. Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Turn on your video. Turn on your video.
Just a moment, yeah.
Yeah. Saif is going a little delayed today. He will join us from 3:30. John the couple on the move. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are things, Sharon?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine here.
Yeah. Are you still in lockdown or?
Yes. Actually, I'm in school now. I'm doing my practicum in my school.
Oh.
Oh, this is the teaching practicum?
Yes, teaching practicum.
Do you get assigned to a school?
Yes.
Which school is that?
This is SJKT Bharati in Alusta, Kedah.
Oh, tell us more.
So this is a Tamil school. So
Uh-huh.
this is my third month in this school, and so
Okay.
far I'm doing good lah. Today I'm just done with my penyeliaan observation. So my lecturers come around and will check lah how the progress. And so far I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I'm having a good time with my students. And yes, guess what? Today I get some gift from my students.
Wow, they must really like you. You've done a good job. Yeah. How old are the students?
Primary school students from
Oh,
7, 8 to 11, 12.
yeah. Interesting. So if it's a Tamil school, do you teach in Tamil or do you teach in Bahasa and Tamil as well?
Okay, actually I'm majoring sejarah, history education. So I'm teaching history in Bahasa Tamil, in Tamil language. And I'm also teaching Bahasa Melayu. So Bahasa Melayu I will teach in Bahasa Melayu lah. So far it's good. For Bahasa Melayu, I'm having a bit of problem because primary school, Tamil school students, although Malay language is a national language in Malaysia, still it is the second language for them. So they're having problem to understand what I'm trying to say. But actually they are doing a good progress. I can see they are improving in terms of communication, in terms of understanding language, which is very good. In history, I also feel the same because before this, I feel that in this school, there's no much emphasis on the history education, as history education is not in the examination subject, like core subjects like mathematics, science. So when they see new teacher teaching history, they feel more engaging, they're more interested to learn more regarding history in primary school.
Very nice, very nice. So it's very interesting that in the Tamil school, the children are still coming from not actually knowing the national language. Still, that's still happening.
Yes, Tamil language is a bahasa ibunda, mother tongue for them. So they usually communicate in bahasa Tamil language. So they are having problem in speaking English and also bahasa Melayu. So because I see that they are seldom interacting or communicating with the Malay or Chinese people. So since the peers are all Indians, so that's how they.
That's right. That's right.
So that
Do you
the
think
solid.
you'll be creating programs where they have this opportunity with the other schools, maybe, you know?
Yes. Actually, I'm trying to connect STG in my school also. Last time, during last month, I did a program regarding gender inequality. On International Women's Day, we did a program with my school teachers, school staff, all women, to make them feel appreciate about what are they doing. So like we did Miss Bharati. So like we celebrate the old teacher in this school, old lady teacher, which is all sponsored by the all boys teacher here. So it is very good.
Wow.
We promote thing, and actually it brings spark to other school as well. Like my friends in doing practicum in other school, they start up the things also in their school. So that's how it works.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So, Mary, can Ejin update us too on what's happened in the last month?
Last month March was really, really busy for me because I was involved in the Commission on the Status of Women. So it was interesting seeing how decision makers around the world were negotiating on a virtual platform. There was a lot of challenges for us and other CSOs as well in terms of getting in touch with them, because some of the countries' representatives, they weren't responsive to emails and all that. So it was very difficult to get in touch with them. And also funding and the digital divide was a really huge issue for a lot of the CSOs and youth advocates. That's what I saw.
What is CSO again?
CSO is civil society organizations.
So you're in touch with all these CSOs?
Not all, because under the Commission on the Status of Women, I am involved in the Girl Guide Association. So we are one of the CSOs. And sometimes we communicate with other CSOs and sort of communicate as in tell each other what's going on, updates about what's going on in their countries, which other countries being very difficult in the negotiation processes. So yeah.
Oh, super. And what is your take on the status of women?
The outcome document was, because the Girl Guide's stand was to include girls in the outcome document, because oftentimes we talk about women. We also forget that girls are also neglected from the decision-making table. So what we pushed for in our agenda was to include girls, to make their voices heard, which was, I would say, a success, seeing that girls is included in the outcome document, the word girls in a lot of the provisions. But one thing I would have to say is that funding is a huge issue this year, because the entire document, there's like, I think 40 or 60 pages, but only 2 provisions was allocated for funding. So yeah, and even the country representatives from Malaysia, when I met them online, they also told me that there were other countries who weren't very open to the idea of putting funding in, because with COVID, there was limited resources, and so not everyone is comfortable in having funding in the outcome document. So yeah.
What is an outcome document?
It is sort of like an agreed conclusion. So if you think of it as a contract, it's like an international contract. It's like what every country agrees to do, and it sets the ground for future policy works as a guideline for how countries should set the framework in their own countries, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. This is really, really powerful work. So you have this Commission on Status of Women, and it's kind of like a roundtable by all the civil society organizations. But this one is kind of led by the Girl Guide Association.
Not really led by the Girl Guide Association.
You're participating in it. You're all coming together to put together this outcome document.
It's more of like member states of the UN coming together to push forward agendas on gender equality and women empowerment. And CSOs are playing the secondary role, I would say, but still important in pushing what we think is important to be included in the international contract, the final outcome document. So essentially,
it's like a United Nations thing.
Sorry?
It's a United Nations thing?
Yeah.
So Sharon was doing the gender equality work in school on the ground through something like a appreciation, right, Sharon, you said? especially the old teachers, and you are kind of doing it work on at the international global level at setting for policy work. So in coming to your outcome document, do you have did you collect like data, or how do you navigate that process?
The outcome document is, we're not really involved in the outcome document. We're there to influence decision makers to say that this is what we want to see in the outcome document. And then the member state representatives will have to sit together and negotiate to come to a common ground on what would be essentially be in the outcome document. So we're not really in the room, the negotiation room. We're just I would say we're just lobbying to our decision makers, essentially as CSOs, as advocates, to tell them what we want.
I see.
Because most of the times there are not really a lot of representation for women in those decision-making tables. So that is how our role comes into play.
Right. And then this year you included girls.
Yes.
The word. Wonderful, wonderful. So very, very well done. Yeah. Super work. So okay, I'll come back to some thoughts about that. And then our session today is actually on recreate. We'll spend some time on that. But since you mentioned funding and where it could be a bottleneck, we will spend some time talking about that today as well, if that's okay with everybody. Yeah. So Merriwick, tell us about your month.
If it's for me, last month it's been a hectic month for me as class are starting, exams are coming, and need to compact all my classes in a right schedule, and also need to attend various of webinars which such as EPFSD. And then for yesterday, I just submitted a micro project SDG proposal where I joined as I participate as from Malaysia, and my micro project proposal is regarding giving a sharing session, and which emphasize on 10 different diversity of students from my university, which focusing on mental health, the importance of mental health, especially during COVID-19. We did after completing the proposal, submit it to the organizer, and then together with a 3-minute pitching regarding our proposal, and then from all of the participants, they will choose top 3, the best proposal, and the chosen one will be proceed to do the real project.
So where's the status now of the pitching?
I just submitted yesterday. So we will wait the results in next week, I think.
Yeah,
it's next week.
What was your proposal? Are you allowed to share it yet?
I think
not yet.
Wait, not yet.
It's okay. But so you've been very busy then, huh?
Yeah, and then need to also help Ame and Kak Sharifah about they're becoming the speaker for the Eco Forum, if I'm not mistaken, last week. Is it, Tani Jin? Last Eco Forum, kan?
Yeah, I think it's last week. The EcoSoc.
EcoSoc. I'm becoming their backbones as the technicals in the same room. I help Kak Sharifah to manage her script, and then I need to make sure both of them are in the right timing and so on.
Wow. So it's called Eco Forum?
EcoSoc Forum, I think.
EcoSalt.
Yeah. One of the UN organs, EcoSoc.
Yeah.
Oh, you must pardon my ignorance. I'm so out of things. Okay, we cannot catch up anymore. There are too many things going. While waiting for the rest, let me see where everybody else is. So, Adrian, this is all we're going to get from Malaysia today, the participation.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know a lot
I'm
of people are
wondering what
having
happened to the whole Dangkalan group, because normally they are not so late. At least some of them will turn up. I'm just wondering if their Wi-Fi is actually down. That's my other thought of why everybody is not here. Are you able to get in touch with Nika, Adrian, and see
Yeah.
where they are? The
Okay.
Bangkalan team, because it's uncharacteristic that the whole team will not be here. My goodness, where is my phone? Oh, here it is. I am in the Geneva room. Okay, show you all where this is. See, you all can have a clue of where I am. It happens serendipitously. Wait, it's pull, not push. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to record this, okay? But I'll just sneak it. That's Geneva room. Okay, the other side I don't dare to show you. Just in case I'm not allowed to put this in recording. But this is the room that has been. It's a privilege to be in this room. It's like there's a screen here. So Singapore. This is very characteristic of a Singapore CBD city type room. I mean, kind of like the very nice view. This is the Fusionopolis area near Buona Vista. Very fancy. Do you all know what this logo is or not? Can see it? Can see?
SGX?
Yeah, do you all know what it is?
No.
It's the Singapore Stock Exchange.
Oh.
This is where your enterprises can go for listing. Can you see all the ticker tape thing? Can you see? So this is not a studio. This is a real thing. Can you see? So it's actually really fun, you know. One of the dreams is to actually bring our work, right? I told you I was in pre-IPO NASDAQ before, right? So it's still one of my passions. So every time I come into a space like that, I get very excited, you know. If it's for really good businesses and you're actually accomplishing really good outcomes for Earth and society, I think this is quite a worthwhile dream regarding funding, you know, and growing businesses. So perhaps some of the old models of charitable organizations or community kind of structures may find its limitation, and maybe a structure like this where it's a private sector. So that's why social enterprises, sustainable enterprises, that's why Bilberries Blue has this ideation of or vision of market stewardship, right? So where we really learn about the ground needs, yeah, like John and Kapo, you just joined. You will have your introduction month together with Cohort 2, but today I'm just going to jump right in, and you can see that this program is about that. We just jump right in and everybody starts sharing, you know. Everyone is a resource. So the stewards we're not stewards anymore, yeah. We're all adults. Well, some of us here have access to some of these ecosystems, and so that's why I hi Navita, Felrose, yeah. So some of us have access to some of these ecosystems, and that's why we hope to be able to motivate the youth stewards to be able to have this kind of really deeper and longer range vision of really what is possible. So this journey of possibilities is it's really about this, you know. it's really all here and all here to connect to all these ecosystems. And we actually frankly don't believe there's any age barrier or any barrier at all whatsoever. It's really the work that you want to do, and how can you generate, right, the goodness and also the business model of funding, however you want to see it, the financial or the money side of things, you know, and how you distribute that equitably, and how do you get having people do great work, and their skills are also relevant to the community, to the marketplace, to civic society, to global society as well, you know. So that's kind of like our big picture service, I think. So now you can see this is real, it's not talk, but it's also still kind of talks, because we haven't got anything to connect to the marketplace, right? So that's kind of like the, hopefully by these 18 months, we can come to a place where we're saying, this is it. Given we know everybody, we know everybody is the resource, and you're all gonna be friends, you know, you already are, we already are, and then we've got 2 new friends, and we've got our Kenyan friends joining us, we've got our Tokyo friends as well soon, you know, so it's all very exciting. I want to put out this challenge. Who has time currently? Navita, do you have time on you? Because there's this pitch that we need to make. I think I have to close it by May 22nd so that we have time to do one more pitch to get the funding for the youth stewardship program. Okay, and this one will be a project. Okay, and that means that the time commitment is separate from the monthly commitment that you have now. It will be a project, and I will guide it directly. It's quite scary when you work with me because my work mode is a bit scary, but it's not that scary. It's just very rigorous. It will have a budget component. We will need a numbers guy. Okay, so numbers, because you need to crunch the numbers, the costing for the program, for this program, okay, including the travel to Cambridge and all that. You need somebody who can write or tell the story, okay. Probably one to do the media piece. I think there are slightly different emphasis. Previously, when I assigned one person to do it, it drowned out that person. The media one, maybe 2 people. Jean, you help me take note of the team. I see you writing already, okay? Yeah. So Ajin will still stay to look at the organization of things, the administration of things. Okay. Nika is not here today. So we're going to pitch for the Templeton Foundation competition, okay? And we're going to win it. That's how it starts. We're going to pitch and we're going to win. If we don't win, whatever comes out of it, we're going to find something else. Somebody will pay for it. Because if we set out to win, it will be that good that we'll definitely get the funding. Okay?
Yeah, you always teach from the angle of success.
Yes. And then you commit to it, right? So May 22nd, why? Because Bilberries Blue Studio, currently as it is going to change its form, okay? So we're also telling the story of Bilberries Blue changing its form and taking the pedagogical documentation of that. And while we're telling this story and then still pitching for the foundation, Templeton Foundation competition, then that means in the pitch, we're going to almost culminate the pedagogical documentation of Bilberries Blue's last 5 years, you know, and find that articulation. So Vashima will be working on that piece on pedagogical documentation. Bernie will be guiding us on the wisdom of our programs, I suppose. And she said just now that it's not a program anymore. So we will let it emerge. And our commitment is to let you guys emerge it, okay? You guys are doing the pitch. That means we will not direct the articulation. So it looks like cohort 1 work, and then whoever wants to jump in, you know, yeah, then later the other used to words can put their input. But I think pretty much okay, so who wants to put up their hands for this pitch? We won't limit the numbers. Okay. It's a short drive, but it's I don't know how hard they will get because we're pitching to win. So let me see, where is the link?
Is it on May 22nd?
No, it's the deadline. Can you check the? Wait, let me see how I'm going. I'm trying to find the link. Look up. I've already started 12 words as a beginning framework. It's called. Can you Google character through community $15 million initiative to strengthen character focused programs? John Templeton Foundation. I'll see if you can find it. Character through community. Internal competition fund, character through 15 million initiative. Again, try typing 15 million dash initiative. See whether let me find it.
Is it John Templeton Foundation?
Yeah, John Templeton Foundation.
It says here submission due by 11th June.
Yeah, so I'm cutting it off on May 22nd so that we can circulate our draft 1 pitch for the rest of Bilberries Blue to turn it around one more time. Yeah. Yeah, I found the link. Okay, it's here. This is the link. Okay. So who wants to be on the pitch team? You can put up your hand and say, I'm on the pitch team and I want to work on this piece. Okay. You can quickly click into the link now to have a read of it.
Also, don't think you are completely on your own. It's not just, we're always there. You are the resource and we are the resource. So if you take the initiative, you'll have all the support, but you have to jump in to think we can.
You have to aim high. You have the youth ahead of you, so you have to aim high. This is a wonderful opportunity.
I'd like to be part of it.
Okay, we've got Ejin. Pitch team. It's not even a pitch team, it's a competition. So it's actually quite fun. Anybody else?
I'll be into.
Who? Merriwick?
Okay, go for it.
Hey, go for it.
Go for it. This is a wonderful opportunity to recreate yourselves because the topic today is recreation. recreate ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone from the Hong Kong team? You may have this chance to engage yourself right from the outset.
Yeah.
It would be wonderful if we have many countries participate. Andromeda from the Philippines,
And
Chong from
Nika.
Hong Kong,
Yeah.
Malaysia. So it will really be diverse.
You will be representing the voices of your youth,
Of the youth, yes.
from your country and your
Yes.
community is important.
Mm. Well, Andromeda is raising her hand.
Yes?
Come on. You won't be alone.
You won't be alone.
Yes.
You'll be working directly with me. This is recreating the future of Bilberries Blue.
That's right. Yes.
You'll learn to what a co-founder does.
And when you work with Peng Yang, you earn what you can earn like a master's degree.
Yes,
That's well
Temasek Junior College has already reconnected with us, Susanna's another batch of students.
Yeah.
I guess they survived the first batch, and then they were thinking, all right, maybe we will send another batch. So we will get some representatives there too. Seriously, it'll be lovely. I think Bernie and Washima, we will open this up to the Kenyan team as well, to see who wants to do this, and then we will have to start the pitch, the competition team very soon already, because
Yes.
next week the National Library is visiting BB Studio. One of the things they really want to learn from us is how come we're doing this looking so easily. And then we're
also, I feel that funding is always going to be a challenge. We'll have beautiful ideas. So funding will always be what you will really have to stand out for. And then if you take on this kind of challenges, it prepares you for lots more things in future.
It's not a hard sell, huh? It's really out of your own motivation. But it is an opportunity to combine all the resources of the different youths from the countries that are being represented today. It's just what I learned from life is there are only two things. One misses opportunity, and one always spot opportunities. It's one or the other. Either you spot it or you lose it.
John and couple, do it. Just jump in and do it. Yes?
Yeah, we have Malaysians. What about the others?
Yeah, Nika and Andromeda. Let's do it.
Actually, we have no idea what's the program about, and we are very.
It's okay. You will know what it is very fast because you will be making it. You are making the program.
You see, in this program, we didn't have any agendas at all. So far, we didn't have any agenda. So each session evolves for itself. Is it right, Adrian? No, we don't have any agenda for any session. It all comes naturally, spontaneously.
We have a framework, a very broad framework about the journey of possibilities. It's meant to be recreate. There is a structure of materials where you can access, but this is a world where you can access many things, and if somebody just comes and structure things for you, perhaps they are a library, I don't know, just a knowledge organizer for you, you know, but you can really only learn it, know it, if you do it.
Everything is very loose.
And it's somebody's representation or interpretation of the experience, you know. or the subject matter. But until you jump in, you won't really deep engage.
Come on,
Romida and Nika, where are you girls? Turn on the screen, please. I tell you what, even easier. Everybody who's present today is on the pitch team. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
It's called an executive decision made. Okay.
Okay.
Is that Felrose? Turn on the video, please, everybody. Let's take a picture. Now you're starting to learn to work with pack. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we will need all of you, and if we can get one or two from the Kenya team, but we will have to move very fast. So at least we will need to have internet access, and I think we'll find a way. But having their voices and participation is important. And then if we can see if there are one or two from Tokyo, from Japan, it'll be very exciting, isn't it? We were hoping to get from, but I think we stay with this for now, okay?
Yeah.
And at least maybe the June. Okay, turn on videos, everybody. I'm taking a photo. Ejin
is not there.
Ejin, your video.
Everyone settling.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The Templeton Foundation competition winners.
Winners.
We have won, okay? Regardless of the outcome, we have won. All right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So now it is 3:11. Okay. I am going to show you the... Can somebody pull up from the YouTube, Bilberries Blue Library, YouTube, the pedagogical provocation for the today's session, number 3, recreate. Do you know how to do that? No? Okay. I'm going to share screen. Hang on. Okay, what are you seeing? Are you seeing the YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, so it has playlist. You go there. Maybe my labeling has to be shortened a little bit. But there is stewardship program. Okay, so this is Bilberries Blue Youth Stewardship Program. This is the playlist itself. You go and you will be able to see there are 7 what we call pedagogical provocation library. This is the library. So library number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, there's some text or that helps to frame some of the background for this program. The 4 W's is here. Some of you have made the videos. Malaysia, we got your video. They are very, very good and very dynamic. And you are already on YouTube. Okay. So you can watch that. And then at some stage when everybody's on board, we can watch it together. John and Kapo, you will make a video too. You watch these 4 W's, okay? And you watch the... So I'm going to send it to the link here. yeah, so you watch this video, and you can watch the videos of others, and then you can do your own videos, and then you can send to us. Okay, you got my email. Okay, this is the journey of possibilities number 2. Okay, so the 4 W's are the introduction video. Then we have the identity, I am who I am. Then we have dignity last week. And this week, it is recreate. Sorry, this month. Okay. Felrose. Felrose? Can you hear Felrose?
She's muted.
He. Felrose. Can you hear me, Felrose?
I think she has to be unmuted.
Ask to unmute. No, he can unmute himself. Okay, anybody wants to read this out? Navita.
Here they actually mention about having clarity of his or her human dignity. The person can deal with his or her doubts, his or her weakness, or his or her shortcomings and rediscover himself. He or she recreates his or her heart as well.
Thank you, Navita. Bernie, all yours.
Okay, since this is the third, just to recap, we have journeyed to the first milestone, which is, what was it? It was our identity. And then we went deeper into the dignity of a human being, which is linked to his or her integrity. Last meeting, there were at least 22 ideas that surfaced from all of you, what dignity is for them. So we have seen a variety. It's a bottomless pit when we speak about dignity. No? Some people said it's emotional. Some people said it's reciprocity, mutual respect, self-esteem, thinking of others, truths, moral values, etc., etc. So now, having said that, what we're going to explore today is the idea of recreating ourselves. We know that it is a myth. I say it's a myth that creativity or talent is a gift. It's given. It is not, because it can be developed. And recreation is not really about art or craft. Recreation starts from our mindset, because we have that condition of, as I say, the youth have always the ability to aspire for other goals, higher goals. But when you reach let's say a lot of time lived, sometimes you regret, I could have lived my life better, something like that. And what would I have done when I was 20? So there's a lot of soul searching and a lot of maybe I could do better. But since we are in the threshold of the youth, we have to aspire, as I said at the beginning, we have to set our goals much, much higher, because it's the instinct. It's an instinct of youth to want to set their goals higher because you're starting life. And that is why I say this is an opportunity for us to recreate ourselves. Why I say that? Because human beings, there's a lot of cliche out there. You go to LinkedIn, you go to all these webinars, there's a lot of cliche about personal fulfillment, right? Pursuit of happiness, It's not about happiness. It's about life happiness. It's about developing our habits, etc., etc. But in this session, we just want to have a sharing of ideas how we create or recreate ourselves. Because, look, if you don't recreate yourself, life is going to be very, I would say, very perishing. But life is very enriching, right? Because, for example, you meet a friend, you always have your first impression. That's why they say first impression is lasting. It's not always true because the first impression is there. And then this first impression, it changes. Then you meet a friend, you say, this friend is has a first impression on me. But in time, that first impression disappears and is changed. That is why we say, how can we recreate ourselves? We must be convinced, we have to be convicted that we can change ourselves into a better human being. Because to be born is one thing. Many people are born, but literally, I do not say this with a negative attitude, but very few people have developed. Maybe many more have been underdeveloped. It's not because of anything, but it's a lack of awareness of how they recreate themselves. So we always have the ability to improve ourselves better. So that's why in this session of recreation, it has to be spontaneous. I would just like to hear your views. How is it that people stagnate? Or how is it that if life is not flourishing, it is perishing because there is nothing more to it? And that's why I say there are a few mindsets that I would like to share with you how to recreate ourselves. First, there is self-motivation. And then there is positive and realistic attitude. Then you have to be enthusiastic. You have always to look for something forward. That's why a little bit, not disappointing, but this is a very good opportunity for this competition. But I see the enthusiasm is missing because if I were your youth, I would probably be the first one to say, hey, this will give me an opportunity to self-develop myself. And I don't have to think further. It is already on the plate to me. Then there is that self-confidence. One is self-confident, that means you can achieve it. And then you have to be determined. And then at the end, you will become what you want to be. Because without recreation, we will just be living, existing, not developing. That's why in this format, I authored it myself. I say, it's not, we will talk about creativity at a later session. But in this session, we want to recreate in terms of maybe it's synonymous to self-development and self-improvement. So that is just the idea that in this, you will discover your weakness, you will discover your shortcomings, you will discover your inner resources. That's why we always have this. No? One of the Kenyans said that the first thing that she took away was the idea is, I am my own resource. I am my own resource. So in this recreation, I will repeat it again. We are our own resource. We can either develop ourselves fully or partially, or we don't develop at all. So with this remark, I would like to invite all of you to share ideas on what you understand of recreating myself, or how can I recreate myself at this moment in my life. So it's different from creativity. Creativity is a more specific way. You know? Creativity has to do with art, with music, with crafts. But at this moment, recreation is a mindset, I would say. It's a frame of mind that you are convinced that you can develop yourself more or even fully. Okay, so that's just to set the tone for what is the understanding of recreating myself. Because some of you may have the mistaken notion, oh, I have no talent, I have no ear for music, or I am not an artist. No, these are, as I said, no, We're not a Van Gogh here. We're not a Beethoven. Those are sets, no? But we can always be better of what we are right now. Okay, who wants to start?
Thank you, Bernie. I want to say thank you because you put it all together. I love your kind of mind, that kind of, we stray. Like to me, I'm a visual person, so I see all our minds and everything going all over, and your mind just brings it back so that we can concentrate again on the small. So we keep playing this game of going big and coming to micro and macro and micro. So I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to, this is very simple, remove the complexity, you know, because recreation is simplicity, you know, it's not complex. And if we start, okay, I am what I am, which we found, I have this dignity, which is unalterable. And now, how can I improve who I am? How can I enhance my dignity so that it is enriched and it does not perish? That's why it's the third milestone. Sets you to think, right? Because it's all connected, it's a thread. Arivik, you're very pensive.
I think I have something, some thoughts regarding recreating myself. It's just that for me myself, I think the mindset is the most important thing before we are jumping into making decision or knowing ourselves better. Because as a children that comes from a rural area in Sarawak, which have the limited access to 24 hours electricity, limited access to clean water, and have and only depends on the river as our main road, is something that a kind of really sad for a children to experience that in the early ages. But then if I keep on looking at the negative side of how unfortunate I am to experience that in the early ages, I think I will go nowhere. But then I motivate myself. I have a mindset that I want to come out from this place. I want to explore more things outside. I don't want to stay here forever.
Yes.
So having that kind of mindset differentiate me from my other friends. Looking at where are we now, where are my classmates now, it really shows that their mindset that they won't go anywhere does happens, because when we are in the same classes, they're just there's no use. They just keep on repeating, there's no use study, we will stay here forever. This is where we belong. And for me, I think that's not true. I'm the type of person that want to explore more things, trying new things, not just staying at my own comfort zone. I want to do various of activities outside. So, and here I am, continuing my studies for degree, and I'm pretty satisfied with my own decision to make that, to come out from my comfort zone, and knowing myself better.
Very good. So in fact, in my milestone of recreation is, the first thing is positive and realistic.
Yeah.
So you have both. You have developed a mindset which is realistic. I am who I am. I come where I come from, but I'm very positive about it. Yeah, very good, very good. Yes. So that's the first idea of to be aware of where your mind is getting you through. Because you can always say, it's a cliche, no? But it's real. Comfort zone is a comfort zone. People don't like to do hard things, don't like the effort. But sometimes it's the effort. Somebody said, if you do good work, the work will even be harder. Yes. So if you put your mind this kind of positive, realistic mindset, the work is going to be fruitful, but it's going to be harder. But the reward is also big. Yeah, very good. So positive, realistic mindset is the first step or one step to recreate yourself.
Maravik, what do you think is the difference between your own drive and say the other children who had the same experience as you almost, right? Not 24/7 unique experience, but the same circumstance, same kind of environment. Why do you think you could like just push yourself? You clearly drove yourself. Nobody could have done it for you, right? Because it has to be you pushing it, studying harder, or believing it in the first place that you want to be outside. So is there something deeper, you think? You can put something out there, but yeah.
I have that one characteristic that I don't want to be the same like others. That is what drive me from doing the best that I can. Because, for example, entering high school, everyone can enter high school, but then I want to try even better. Then I involve myself in the school prefects. Joining the school prefects is not as easy as entering the high school, because entering high school, everyone can just easily enter high school. And then besides, apart from that, trying to do new things. Sometimes people don't want to try new things because they don't want to don't want to experience the nervous, don't want to experience the fear of failure. But then I don't want to be like others. That's something that drives me to try and keep on striving the best that I can.
I like that, you're like an outlier, you're like the that thing that does not conform in any system, which is very pesky for people who like to control systems. This is kind of like life, right? That is the creative energy, actually, right? And like what Bernie says, because it's positive, so it's seeking almost like positive responses to the system, almost, right?
It's a positive, but also realistic. No, it's not just positivism for the sake of daydreaming or I want to be this. No,
it's still very grounded,
realistic.
very aware, and it realizes it has work and effort involved, right? Because you can sit and daydream, and then suddenly your brain produces all this biochemistry that makes you feel very good. That's like taking a shot or something, right? But
and then you feel frustrated, no? Because you can't realize your goals. But one thing, so we have already touched on positive, realistic. And the third thing that you probably don't realize when you're saying this is determination.
Determination.
Yeah, because you are determined.
Okay, so I've got positive, I've got realistic.
And determined.
Okay, determination. Yeah, so same thing that I said also, right? What is driving that determination?
That's right.
So, Maravik, you say, I don't want to be the same as others. What does that mean again? What are you seeing in what you're seeing that is telling you that we can be better? Maybe that's what it is.
How can I explain that?
Like that means it's almost like a not dissatisfaction, but it is a bit of a dissatisfaction. You're like, we can do better, right? We can do better. That's why we're all here as well as Bilberries Blue.
That's
Society can be better. We can do better than this in COVID. In COVID,
right,
we don't just sit down and do nothing. We can do better. So what is this We all have it, you know, otherwise we won't be sitting in this Zoom room together. There are many other Zoom rooms or other things to do. So what is this thing? It's sucking
almost
the determination and the drive, you know, Bunny. What is that?
I can say almost instinctive in any human being to want to be better. It's instinct, because otherwise you're just born. You're not becoming.
But some people stop, no?
That's why I
Some
say
people give up, right?
some
So,
people are not developed at all, not in physical, but here. And this has to do with, as you mentioned, is what is your mindset at the moment? Yeah. If your determination is your mindset, you will go for it, right, Maribel? Yes.
True.
So what about the others? What comes to your mind when you have this idea of recreating myself?
I
Raise your hand.
so
who is speaking? We don't know.
I think Andromeda is trying to speak, but her internet connection.
The connection, no, it's not very good, Andromeda.
Yeah, Andromeda, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Andromeda.
I have something to share with Asian, and that is about the philosophy of man being born as a blank slate, or the so-called tabula rasa, and it has something to do with man being born as a blank slate, and it can only be imprinted through our experiences as we grow up, and those experiences mold. Those experiences owned, and those experiences influence our own self, our mindset, our whole being. And
yes,
those
very good.
experiences,
Very true.
yes, those experiences, and with all those mistakes that we face in life, then enters the recreation. So when we were born as plants, we create. And when we commit our mistake, when we commit our first mistake, just learning the pair of actions, we learn and we accept that it was wrong and it is a mistake, and we learn how to do the right thing. And that is where recreation enters. When we recreate, we learn how to accept the mistake or the wrong, learn to incorporate the values, the lessons, and the experiences that we experience in life, and we do things how to make it right. And those experiences may change the mindset. We recreate what we think.
Very true. Very true.
Some things that we can incorporate to make things better. And just like in the mindset, we begin to understand that not all people are not all people experience in life, not all people experience the same experience as we do, and we begin to incorporate that in those recreation or recreating the mindset that we have to understand others, and we have to understand that life is not a competition with others. It is a competition of
competition.
When you think like, hey, I'm insecure about others, they are so pretty and I'm like a potato, and you begin thinking that way. So when you accept that life is not a competition with others, you can think that competition with yourself and lack of faith.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, we missed quite a bit of the good stuff, huh? Andromeda, we missed quite a lot of good stuff. Could you type it down on the chat channel, please? And then maybe either Ejin or Nika can compile it.
Mm.
Some of the, yeah, if your lines are not good, you can type it on the chat channel, and then we will scoop up the ideas by copy and paste and then put it in a document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I can do that. Yes, I will write it down and some kind of incorporate other things like stuff and quotations or something.
Yeah, oh, that'll be fantastic. That'll be fantastic. Yeah, I almost think that this piece of work that we're doing is really the core opening of that the conversation.
Mhm.
We're not actually pitching in for a competition, you know. We're actually sending in something to dialogue with the Templeton Foundation, right? So this is really the starting point, because I think COVID is really revealing a lot of humanity's mistakes, actually. And if we don't take this as our starting point, Andromeda, what you said was really, really, really very wise.
Yeah.
We're not going to change because we never learned it. We're not going to commit, right? Right, Bernie?
Yes.
Right?
So what I can sense is the Andromeda is very consistent, because if you remember what she said in the last session on dignity, maybe you don't realize what she said, but I took note of it. It's the same. It's the same way of thinking. She said that to have dignity is like to see yourself in a mirror. You remember what you said?
Yes, yes.
Mirror yourself and look at yourself, and what is inside is the same as what is outside. Now she is saying the same thing. She says, we are born a blank slate. She used the Latin word tabula rasa, which is translated a blank slate. Congratulations for your Latin. And then she said that, yeah, you learn from that tabula rasa, you recreate it because you learn from your mistakes. You don't compete with others. You do not mind what others think, because you are unmindful of criticisms, because you want to make it right and you want to do it, and you look at it from the point of view of experiential. So, and in that sense, you are able to recreate yourself. So we are having the building blocks. Imagine, Marivik says determination, positive, realistic. Now Andromeda is saying we are a blank slate, but we're going to make that not into blank slate, but with experience, we're going to make right the failures that we have, and we experience it. And mindful of criticisms. I don't care what others think of me, if I'm ugly, if I'm a potato. But he said, I have the experience to make things right. So again, this is the second building block. That's why it comes out from your inner core. You don't need to have a session on mindfulness. You don't need that. You don't need to have a session of how to make people happy. We have it right here with us. So we can document those things. Very good. If you can write it down, they are really, I would say they're very authentic.
Andromeda, you write it, okay? This one will start the work with what they've written. I think I really like this starting point. I think
it's very deep.
Yeah, and coming from you will be very, very powerful. Anything that's coming from any of you it's more powerful than what any of us can say, you know. Yeah.
It's very real and spontaneous.
It's a hard starting place, isn't it, to learn how to accept mistakes and incorporate. But I'm really hearing what you're saying. If you don't learn from your mistakes, actually you never change. Maybe the form of what you're doing changes, it looks different, but actually it hasn't changed, isn't it? Because you're not recreating.
You're not recreating.
Recreating involves you having to really take stock. This is your life,
right?
Right.
Yes. And people are looking for that. No, people are looking for personal fulfillment, but they don't realize that it comes within. That you recreate yourself.
There's a pattern that you've adopted, and then you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then you may do different things, but actually the pattern hasn't changed. Then there's no recreation.
Yeah.
So the pattern, similarly for society and global society and economy, essentially has to undergo this. But if as a person, if there's no change, the outside is not going to change.
No, there's no development. That's why there's no development, neither society or personally. Yeah. Very powerful observations, very powerful thinking. Thank you very much, Angelica. Yes, for sharing. Yeah.
Andromeda.
Andromeda, yeah.
Anybody else? John and Kapo, any thoughts from Hong Kong? Not to put them on the spot.
I think recreating myself is all about the change of attitude and mindset. I have one experience can share is regarding my academic result in junior form, and I wasn't a diligent person and hardworking student. I just give up my results, and I seldom revise before the exam or the test, and my result was just terrible. And however, there is a teacher, my class teacher, who inspired me and motivated me a lot. She wasn't that person was a kind or just and she just shared her thoughts about me, and she think I was not supposed to be that terrible, and she said she was disappointed about my performance, and it makes me feel a little bit ashamed and sorry. And his quotes just inspire me, and I start work very hard for not disappointing her and my parents. And I'm a little bit nervous.
Go ahead. We're friends here.
And finally, my result improved, but not really that extraordinary. And however, my attitude changed, and what I see the result. And my attitude changed from indifference to that I don't want to disappoint anyone that who treat me good and have a high expectation on me. That's the change of my attitude towards everything. I think that can be one kind of recreation of me.
Wow.
This is very big.
Big.
It is very
John, you are so courageous, okay, to share this with us. And today is actually your first session with us, you know. Look at you. I mean, this is personal, it's big, you know, and it's a, you turned it around yourself,
yes.
and it's not a happy clappy story, right? It's a very tough story, and you shared it with us. You know, barely 1.5 hours of friendship. You know, so and the shift is huge, and you said it, from indifference,
Yes.
from indifference to not disappointing anyone
Yes.
who believe in me. Actually,
Yes.
I don't know
Mm.
whether you all got how big this is.
Yeah, because one of the biggest
Yeah.
evil in this world is not hatred. When you say I hate, it's not as bad. But when you're indifferent, that is the worst that any human being can adopt. Because when you hate, there is a flip side. But when you're indifferent, that is the worst that can happen to anyone. Not to fall into indifference, or to realize that we are indifferent and to shift to something positive, that is a very, very, very big effort there. Not anybody can do that. And you were able to do it. Yeah, that's why it's life has meaning. See, when we recreate ourselves, life acquires a new meaning, and you have succeeded.
You have succeeded.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that you just turned up, both of you, and I know you all turned up last week and we didn't have the session, there was a miscommunication. You all didn't give up. You all turned up again today, you know.
Yes.
It's incredible. I love this kind of gung-ho attitude almost.
Yeah.
But it's an act, right? It's an action, you know. It's an act of change, huh, Bunny?
Yes.
Desiring positive change, isn't it? Because what both of you actually are living is spotting the opportunity.
Yes.
We gave this opportunity out to so many students in Hong Kong, you know.
Yes.
But two of you just put up your hand.
Yes.
You already took that step already. Did you know that?
Yes.
Huh?
See, I am revising my milestones of recreation.
Yeah, you are. What did you revise it
Because
to?
I haven't thought about this, change of attitude.
Huh?
From something that is reproachful to a shift, to change the attitude and to remove indifference. That is very, very difficult to do.
And he said, and it changed everything.
Yeah, it changed. It's life-changing. It's not so much that you improved big or small, but you changed your attitude. How many people can change their attitude out of something that is not pleasant?
It was a decision.
And it was a decision.
It was a very clear-cut decision. And he knows it too, and he's nodding it. That's why he can say it so precisely, right? You can say it so crisply, you know.
And that's why I can relate it to what Andromeda said, no? It is learning from experience. You learned it and then you apply it. And that is recreating. So the two tie in together.
Wow. So actually, nobody can do anything for anybody. You have to do everything yourselves. Or we have to do everything ourselves.
That's why I say
nobody can give anybody anything.
Yeah.
This kind of scary too, you know.
No,
nobody
but
can.
We realize now we do not assign anybody's responsibility. We own it and we're responsible for it.
Wow, the drive and the self-determination really needs to come from the I am, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
The I am who I am, right? There's no other place to
that's why
drive it.
You
I
sh-
can give you carrots, give you ice cream, we can give you
you
all
sh-
these things, but it isn't it? Huh?
and you're responsible for the shift for yourself. As you say, not to disappoint third parties. It's not the extrinsic, but it's the internal decision that you want to have a change of attitude. The disappointment of others is just a secondary motivation. The effect is just secondary, but the inner core is inside of you, because I say I want to have a change of attitude, and you wanted it and you were determined to change it, and all the rest will follow. You have given us a big lesson today, couple.
No,
I-
John.
yeah, I think we can do the same for ourselves, to have this change of attitude of something that is not pleasant. Wow.
Wow, big, very big. Thank you for this lesson.
Thank
No, you
you.
guys are amazing. Please keep recording for others. We're
Please,
only
our
5 minutes to 4 o'clock. Huh? Bunny, what should we do? We close at 4?
yeah,
Or we want to do we
maybe
want to have one more?
depends on who others have to share. This is going to be a very, very rich session.
Mm. So when you go deep and then you make the shift from a very deep space, that's where the simplicity comes, you know.
Yeah, that's
We
why.
get caught up in all the complexity and the data and everything, and we just keep talking about that. But actually, it's to just scrub, clean to this. And then once you distill it, and then you change those one little simpler things, seemingly simple, but actually are very deep, everything opens up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know is anybody else has any other thought? Are we okay to extend past 4?
A bit, maybe another 15 minutes.
Another 15 minutes? Yeah. Just to
Actually,
hear
I need
one
to
more.
leave early.
You need to leave? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I have class at 4.
Well,
Maybe, Bernie, maybe we finish, we close.
Yeah, even I'll have to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. No, maybe Washima. What should we do in 5 minutes to
Yeah,
wrap up
5
for-
minutes to wrap up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gashima, you wrap it up today.
Yes. Because you're going to take us to pedagogical documentation.
Yeah. I mean, we have enough richness in this session.
Yeah, I think so for the recreate. I think, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
this
so.
is the opportunity to now you guide us to prepare the dossier for Templeton. You see, I can still going for just the money. You see how I am? Goal based, you know, everything. Okay, we gotta get the money. We gotta get, because we promised each other we will meet in Cambridge. So we must.
Yes.
So with these 3 milestones, you can recreate the whole mankind.
I think so. With this idea of recreating ourselves, the focus again becomes internal. So most of our thinking and our limitations are basically internal. And what we have got into habit, some of us, is the external, because it's always easy to blame the outside.
Yes.
So that's another thing that we can keep in mind, because when Bernie used the word awareness, then this is one of the things that I often keep in mind, that when I'm talking about the COVID situation, I'm talking about how bizarre this whole world is right now, currently grappling with challenges that we have never thought we would collectively be looking at. And it's very easy to be looking at, oh, I can't do this because of COVID, I can't do. But then if we just shift our mind to see what all we can do. So my personal journey has been about constant recreation of my day, even rearranging my day, rather than just look at, oh, I can't do this because it's sunny. I can't do this because it's raining. I can't do this because it's too cold. So it's not the external. I've looked at what all I can do while I have this time and space and energy. and a heart full of gratitude, because moment you look at news, there is no other way but to feel grateful for the situation that is maybe slightly better, because it could get worse.
Yeah.
So that itself is giving me a lot of sense of gratitude that we all have our roofs, we all have food on table, we have such engaging minds to bear our soul, to feel energized. So just a small example, like last 3 days, because I've traveled 1,300 kilometers from where I was in the pandemic, taking 2 flights and landing up at another city. And here I have a beautiful setting, but the terrace didn't match the aesthetics and the beauty of the house. So when I went up to look at sunset, I said, my God, my terrace is my canvas. Because now, so this morning, I had a reason to wake up early morning and get going with painting the terrace, because I had this previous enjoyment, this experience of painting walls. So I said, okay, I'm going to turn this into a second skin, so that when I see the sunset, it is framed into this beautiful terrace. And 3 hours from moment I climbed up to I came down for this Zoom call, it was 3 hours gone just like that. But can I say I wasted my time? No. You know the skill that I learned? The biggest skill that I needed to, that it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to not feel frightful if it's not perfect. It's okay to be able to go freehand on huge walls and paint and be led by my brush and my heart. So next time I'm going to share some possibilities. If ever you get a chance to paint on the wall, do it as a most, what would I say, fulfilling job, because you are facing your fears. Because normally we painted with small canvases or with brush or with a controlled environment. But here I could take my brush anywhere. So for me, it was an exercise to get out of my comfort zone and deal with my ability to have no fear of making mistakes. For me, that was a mega sense of freedom. And that's how I recreated myself this morning. Does that make sense? So we can recreate small things and the outcomes will be in a totally different zone.
Okay, so maybe as a takeaway for this session, you can mentally jot down in what instance during the day, small things, how you have recreated the day for yourself in terms of shifting your mindset, learning from mistakes, being more determined, having a change of attitude. All these are small steps to take away from this session. Okay?
Yeah, I like that, Bernie, because we are taking an idea and we're turning it into action. And what better action than what Washima has painted for us just now, literally, you know.
Yeah. So start recreating yourself on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, without the stress. Without the stress, because
small steps, right?
And laugh about it.
And laugh about it. Yes. Today I was laughing at this madness to myself. But in that I gained a lot of courage.
And what we're going to find is that if we change ourselves, everything changes. How simple is that? And it's free. What do we need the funding for? To get us to Cambridge.
Okay. Now we have a lot of documentation. Huh?
Yes, we have a lot of documentation. This kind of insights only come from years and time spent together with allowing diverse voices and heart sharing. Actually, we couldn't have planned this, no? Yeah, it can only emerge because there's a trust, huh? There's a yeah, and there's a I think
I just want to add that one thing, that never doubt that what you do today will help you tomorrow in one way or the other. So it's nothing is waste of time.
nothing, even if it's a grand big failure and mistake, and maybe especially so, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the context that we're discovering now. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Because I did feel like such a big failure, you know. I am still feeling like a failure, actually.
Peg, if you
I
feel
know.
a failure, what about the rest of us?
No, because I didn't deliver on my vision, right? So that's my constant thing.
It's work in progress. It's work in progress.
Yeah. So
Time for
so,
everything to bloom.
so you're always gifting to me, you know. I always feel I just can't do enough, don't do enough. But every time after I come out from this session, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm the one who has benefited from this thing. But so wow, okay. One last nugget, huh? Nothing is wasted, huh? Especially failure. Oh my goodness, how big is that?
So now I hope our two newcomers from Hong Kong will continue to join us in the next session. For you, it was a very experiential participation, and you were right into the deep end. No holds bar.
We love your energy. We love your smiles. We love all of your energy and smiles. And actually, all of you. I know it's not possible to love people like that, but we do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Keep laughing.
Yeah.
I think best way to build up immunity in COVID times is laughter. So don't compromise on that. Find reasons to laugh for silly things, for everything, and your immunity will be much stronger.
Yeah.
Your
Joy of
fear
life, huh?
lowers your immunity. So don't be fearful. Laugh a lot. Be in good company.
Yeah, relax a little bit, you know. Fashima, it's joy of life, huh? Just now that you've got both sides of perspective, you know, and then you understand the context that life really just has ups and downs, success and failures, and the context of it. The context is recreation. We are constantly recreating ourselves.
Yeah,
How exciting is that? Now I feel like I'm all new again, you know.
You're on the third milestone, eh?
Yeah, and only at the third.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So this is really the turning point, the ability to recreate, the ability. This, John, boom!
Yeah,
you delivered it from us, from like you just jump in and delivered this nugget, you know.
And people.
That's it. That's it.
Webinars and webinars and webinars.
Yeah, just like that.
Personal development and webinars.
It's just like that. The ability to.
We got it in 1 hour.
It's the highest empowerment.
Yeah.
Alamak! This is the delivery! Yay!
It's a big group hug to all of you.
Yeah,
big hug.
No idea how long we've been searching for this. Okay, so that's why.
Okay, I think we have to go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your participation. So we see you again next month.
Okay, John and couple, you will look out for the email for the cohort 2 starting. It's not next 2 weeks. It's not yet, huh? The Kenyan group will can only start maybe June. But for the two of you, especially, I will connect with all of this team here for the Templeton competition.
You can join the group.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name for the competition. I don't know, keep saying Templeton from. Okay, give us a name now quickly for the project. Project team. We need a project team name. Anybody? Just put it up. No.
Or you can put it in the email.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Bye bye.
Everybody. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye bye.
Stay safe.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Angelica, you're super, huh? You're super deep.
Andromeda. Andromeda. This girl.
Andromeda.
Yeah. Andromeda, right? That's something, okay?
Andromeda. I called Angelica. It's Andromeda. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The core of it, huh?
Bye-bye.
You know, just I gotta stop the